Hi and welcome back to the channel. My last video was all about how do I take notes, and that was using granola to put things into Obsidian. And I have that note up in front of us. If you haven't, go check it out in the description and you can go and look at that video. But everyone came back and said, Mark, that was interesting, but tell me, how do you structure your Obsidian vault? So firstly, I want to say that Obsidian is incredibly flexible. You can build anything almost that you like inside of it. And so if you're in academia, the way your notes are going to look like are going to be very different from the way that mine will. And if you're a student and you're studying, and I saw some other Obsidian set up where a medical student had all his medical terms connected together. And so this, if you're a medical student, is not the video for you. But if you're an operator like I am, in a business, I'm a full-time CMO, running a business and wanting a way just to have my notes available, this is the way I've set up my vault. Let me warn you, it follows the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. And you might be underwhelmed how simple it is. So let's get into it. So as you can see, here is the folders that I've got. And we're in my company here, Build Growth, and this is exactly where we were before. But before I go down into that, I thought maybe I'd show a different side of me on a different side of things and go, why don't I go look at recipes? I love to barbecue, big barbecue guy. Love to do brisket and ribs and things like that. You can see here. So if I look at brisket, let's go down at brisket. Oh, and I got my master recipe here. Okay. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Master recipe created in 2021. This picture's maybe a little old, but I have my link to my source video, what rub. Huge fan of Franklin. If you haven't read anything about Franklin, go check him out. Here's my cook process. And oh, here's all the attempts. So I've cooked brisket many times. So let's have a look at what happened to my last brisket. Here's my overnight cook notes. And here's a property here that's actually driving the order. And I'm not going to get down into the properties today. I'm showing you more the structure, but here's how things went. And if I go back to this master recipe again, I can see all the other attempts. You go, oh my goodness, isn't that a lot of work? Let me show you just a little peek here. So if I go into edit mode, you can see here I'm just using a data view. If you don't know anything about data views, there's tons of videos about that. I might do something like that later. But it's a real simple thing, just going, give me all my attempts. So now anything that ever has briskets in it, it just does it in reverse chronological order. So I just go and say, oh, I need a new cooking note. And if you're not cared about brisket, let me show you what was in ribs. Same type of thing. You see my style here. I've got a ribs master that's pinned to the top, little picture of it. Here's all my cooking attempts that I've done with it. Here's the recipe. And so that's the way I think and the way I structure something as simple as recipes. I also have other things in here. Yeah, I have my reading list here. And so I just was actually reading this the other day. It's from A16Z on System of Record to System Intelligence. Here's my TLDR on the thing. Here's the numbers that came out. And oh, here's the source. I can go and read the source. Very simple to go and find everything. Everything's sitting down in reading lists. Now, you can categorize these if you want. You get way more sophisticated. For me, it's good enough. Here's my reading list. If I'm wanting something about, hey, what was that thing that A16Z found, I can go and find it very easily and just pull it up. And then I have my personal vault here in terms of going, hey, what's going on with me? I've got what's going on with my finances, my house, and me. And so there's the whole personal side of me as well. And maybe what's potentially interesting here is I have my brain, and we'll get into this some more, why I don't use tags, different problem. I actually do use tags. You can see I have an important tag here as well, what the vault architecture looks like. So this is my brain, how I think about organizing things. I didn't know where to put it. My computer has things about my licenses and all that type of good stuff, and finance and stuff like that probably makes a lot of sense to you. And then I have, hey, I run a business, and I also get involved in people looking for new CMOs. And so I have a whole recruiting folder here, which has whom I'm active with, who's I've closed, any references I've got. So that would have my resume in it and things like that. So fairly simple structure as you look through each one of these. And then I dump everything that I don't care about or don't care about anymore into a thing called Z-Archive. And you go, why Z-Archive? It's just a trick. It's this whole world is basically sorted in alphabetical order. Z's at the bottom of the alphabet. it goes to the bottom. But I have everything inside of Z Archive. So, hey, old recruiting stuff I've done, old work, old companies I've been at, all the things that I have on them, it all goes there and just lives in my vault in case I ever need it. I have a problem of not ever wanting to really delete things, and just I'll put it into Z Archive. It gets out the noise of the system. So what happens if you're sitting in work here and you go, okay, I want to go and create a new note here. I'm going to go and create a new note, and boom, I've got this new note. It's called Untitled. I'll give it a title, my note. Oh, attendees. And so where does this all come from? Oh, what is this at the top? So if you look at this at the top, it's called metadata or front matter. And if I go back and think, it just becomes a property in your file. Don't have to get deep into that thing, but if you think about, okay, where are these templates coming from? If you have a look here, I can't see anything about templates, but I have it hidden. So if I open this up to unhide it, I can show you my templates. So here's what my meeting notes templates look like. My reading list template looks like. My cooking note templates looks like. And so what you can see in each one of these is the way you would want to structure it. And you can just set it up in terms of going, I want to create a new note like this, and it will automatically then apply the right template, and you're already starting. So a lot of people go, oh, how do I start with the notes? Do you have to have all the stuff? No, it's evolutionary. You just, oh, I need a new template. Don't overthink it. You think these are really dumb or simplistic is probably the better way of describing it, but it just makes it a lot easier when you go and create a new note. It automatically knows which category it's in. So if it's a meeting note, it'll go into work. If it's a reading list, obviously a reading list. If it's cook notes, it'll go only under recipes. And so there's a whole way of setting that up that's beyond the scope of this video. This was just to show you a little bit about my sort of structure. All right, so let me get rid of that. And so we're just back to our normal things. I have clippings here, which is just the web clipper. And so I can put all my clippings here. And then I wanted to give you another sneak peek about how it's structured. And so what you've seen structured today is primarily where a lot of my knowledge lives, not really where my process lives. And so where does the process live? We talk about using Claude, and I'm a big Claude user at the moment. And so where is all that information? And the way I think about it is I have it all in my brain here, in the Mark Digital Brain. I know no extra prizes for creativity of naming, but this is my brain, and I have my identity in here. So inside my identity, I have my brand. This is about me. So every time Claude's doing something and wants to know about me, my brand's in there and my voice is in there. If you've never done any of that with Claude, incredibly important to set that up. Again, subject for a different video, but this is just where my identity lives. And then I have personas. Inside of Claude, I view different things that I'm doing as different personas. So I have a comms persona. Hey, I want to go and do this particular video. I'm going to ask my comms persona, going, wow, I want to do another YouTube video. What would be a good topic? You've heard these comments back. This is the topic we'd pick up. Okay, let's go work through the outline. Comms knows how to do that. So inside of comms, there's a set of skills. It can do analytics. How did the video perform? How did my LinkedIn post perform? Actually create a post or create a video, react to something, triage comments, and sets of skills, and you can increase these skills here, and Claude just picks these up, very atomic skills. And I have the same type of thing for finance, for my own personal finance and checking out things like that, my health, and then product marketing is another big sort of sub area that I work a lot in. So if you want to do comparative analysis, I look at those skills. And I'm in recruiting, I go and say, hey, what does this opportunity look like? How big is the company? Let's do all the research. So hopefully that gives you a good indication of how I've structured my notes. Again, I think the main takeaway for you, the viewer, is Obsidian is incredibly simplistic, which is great. You can make it as complex as you like, and many people have. Their testament to all the videos that are out there which talk about, hey, I've done Obsidian with this, and there's this cool mind map that you can do with it. It's just, I don't need it, so I just get rid of the noise. And so if you're starting out and thinking about the stuff, I would just follow a very simple principle. Keep it simple, stupid. KISS. Just focus on that. And I'd say the last bit of advice I'd have to you is remember that everything you do in Obsidian here anyway are they're just markdown files. You make a mistake, just move them around. And what's also incredible with Claude is it loves to read and write markdown files. That's it from me. Drop a comment, tell me what you're doing and how you're structuring your vaults. Or if it doesn't have to be in Obsidian, it can be in anything, Apple Notes or Bear, and just love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.